Then he defines what repetition is. It is an effort towards the state which we wanted to attain. So there should be a desire to attain what we want. So the desire nature should be sublimated by applying it to the object of your yoga practice. The mind is like a cloth, like a handkerchief. If you place camphor in it, keep it for some time, take it away, it smells like camphor. If you put an onion in it for some time and take it away, it smells like onion. That is, this smell is called desire. Now, you put some fire in it for some time and take it away and smell. There is no fire in it. Fire has eaten away your handkerchief. Fire is the only thing which is different from all other things. All other things give their quality to the handkerchief. Fire eats away the handkerchief. Similarly, when desire is applied to any other thing, you will get the association or the nature of the thing polluted. If you apply it to your object of yoga, desire will be burnt. So, it is impossible to drive away desire. Therefore, apply it to what you want. This is one process. And actually, this is the thing which is aimed at by the masters when they first talked of to the Theosophical Society, when they said to form a nucleus of universal brotherhood. You know, 3 objectives of the Theosophical Society. The first objective is to form a nucleus of universal brotherhood.
Often.
Universal
Yeah.
brotherhood.
Yes.
You should form a nucleus.
Yes.
Poor fellows, they could not understand it. They understood in some other way. Nucleus means a center.
Yes.
Center means they thought some people gathering and forming a center. Not that. You form a nucleus like this. That is what Master Kuthumi meant when he gave the first objective to the Theosophical Society. So he said, let this be a lodge where all the devas lodge. But they thought lodge means a lodging, a place, a house and all that.
Yes.
Of course, that is also true, but when this is true, that works for a long time. When this is not there, that doesn't work, that goes away. Because we will be looking at only the panel of the Theosophical Society, not the work of the masters. Or we will be seeing at the pictures of the masters, not the work of the masters. That is what happened with the Theosophical Society.
Or can we say concentrated on the form?
Yes,
The
form side of
form
it.
aspect.
We are leaving the activity side of it.
Yes.
We are taking the form side of it. And we should also distinguish between 2 things. You should learn to be active and should stop to be busy. You should not be busy. You should be active. This is one thing which we should observe. To be busy is a disease, psychological disease. To be active is health-giving activity. It rearranges all the forces in you, the physical and the mental. Active is self-awareness. Busy means auto-suggestions that I am having too much of work, that I am fatigued, poor fellow and all that. That is busy. So we impose auto-suggestions that we are not able to withstand the work and all that. That is, our suggestions make us very weak and sick. And we are fatigued too much. 80% of our fatigue is because of auto-suggestion, but not of our work. So this should be one of the points which we should include about the steps given here. I am only making a practical application of the principle. For example, and then he says, he defines it like this: repetition is the effort towards that state of controlling the lower impulses. So every minute you make a repetition of that object in your mind. Then you begin to make a repetition, and then the repetition stops and the habit is established. He also says, habit is engrafted. That is, grafting of a plant. When a branch of a plant is put in the soil and put soil, after some days you will find this an independent plant. So you are to engraft a new habit. Grafting procedure of a new habit. Habit is engrafted by repetition through a long time without any gap. If you are able to be self-aware without a gap by repeating the thought, then automatically it forms a habit. That is what he means. Then it becomes established. Just as the new branch gives roots into the soil when engrafted, this new habit gets established when you begin to repeat to yourself, to self-awareness. That becomes a habit and that gets established. After some time, you need not think specially of it, just as you need not think of your driving while you are driving. It is like that. But all the care you have to take as a driver, you are taking it, but you need not take it. The difference is, in the beginning, you have to do it. After practice, it is done to you and you are not doing it. You see, from a stage of active voice, it goes to a stage of passive voice. Things are being done by us in the beginning. No, we are doing things in the beginning, and afterwards things are being done to us. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. Stop doing anything. Everything is done through you, and sit there without doing anything. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. In the same, expressed in an artistic way in Bhagavad Gita. Then he gives how to do it. Desiring what is seen and heard should be made passive. Desiring what is seen. You have seen something in the market, or somebody there, he talked to you. After coming home, you should not think of that unless there is a plan. When there is a plan, think of the plan only for a moment to do it, but not in the process of thinking. Suppose we want to catch the train in the evening. Some people are traveling from the morning mentally. They go to the station, they purchase the tickets, they find out, they stand in the platform mentally from the morning itself. But they have to do in the evening. So don't do it from the morning. Do it when you have to do. If you want to do it physically, don't do it mentally, just propose it. That is how he advises us.
Living in the now, in
the present.
In the present.
Yes. Therefore he says, desiring what is seen and what is heard should be made passive. What is heard is much, because we have read many books, we have heard many lectures. All this comes under the heading, what is heard by us. We begin to think of those thoughts. Stop it. If you have anything to do from it, do it. That is what he says. You can read all the books, including the scriptures. If you feel like doing something from it, begin to do it. Otherwise, stop thinking about it. That is what Patanjali advises us here. It is, after reading a paper, reading a book, see if you have something to do. Yes, then do it. Otherwise, leave it away. If you have something to do it, it lives with you forever. It continues with you. Suppose we read the sentence from the Gospel, love thy neighbor as thyself. No use of repeating the sentence in the mind as a mantra. If we can love our neighbor, then we do it. Otherwise, forget about the sentence. That is what Patanjali says. However valuable it may be a book, it may be a science, a textbook, or an artist book, a book of law, whatever it is, or the advice of a friend. If it is very valuable, if you feel it valuable, immediately do it. Otherwise, forget about it. That is the one advice Patanjali gives here, to practice these two things.